This motorcycle right here is one of the most exciting and important launches by Honda India in recent times. The H'ness CB350 goes straight up against the Royal Enfield Classic 350, a motorcycle that has dominated the segment over the years. So today we're going to talk about the design of this motorcycle, the features, and give you a quick walk around. Let's talk about the styling first, and I think Honda has really come up with an attractive, retro-looking motorcycle. Because when you look at this motorcycle, it reminds you of the Honda CBs from yesteryears. And that, we believe, is a good place to begin with, by drawing inspiration from the CB motorcycles, like the 1980s CB350 and even the CB1100 RS. The company has ensured that the H'ness CB350 looks like a Honda, while still oozing that typical classic motorcycle appeal that many will appreciate. Some of the interesting design elements that grab attention include the round LED headlamp, chunky 15-liter fuel tank, and the chrome fenders. Adding a touch of modern elements to the design are the Y-spoke alloy wheels. You have a 19-inch front wheel and an 18-inch rear wheel, and these are shot with MRF Zapper tires. Also, these blacked out engine cases again add a little bit more modernity to this retro, modern looking motorcycle. But the thing that really stands out, and in a bad way, is the grab rail and the sari guard. It is something that I would really get rid of the moment I take delivery of the motorcycle. That minor niggle aside, the CB350 looks rather attractive, and the styling is indeed one of its biggest USPs. The fit, finish and overall quality is good, but we'll reserve our final judgment about this after putting the motorcycle through a rigorous test. Also, if you're falling for the uber cool dual tone paint job on this motorcycle, you'll have to fork out some extra cash because this paint scheme is exclusive to the top spec DLX Pro variant, while the standard DLX variant is available with single tone colors. However, a different paint scheme is not the only additional feature you get with the extra cash. One of the segment first features on the H'ness CB350 is Bluetooth connectivity. This is the DLX Pro version, which gets you Bluetooth, navigation, telephony, and also reads out messages. The company calls this feature the Honda Smart Voice Control. It allows the rider to pair the smartphone to the instrument console via the HSVC app. Once connected, the rider can operate the system to access phone calls, navigation, music playback, and incoming messages using dedicated buttons on the left switch cube. Besides displaying the information on the part digital instrument screen, it can also be communicated to the rider via aftermarket Bluetooth speakers placed inside a helmet. Barring this difference, the analog digital instrument console on both variants is the same and displays a ton of information. Also, you have a side stand indicator, an eco indicator, you've got range, you've got battery voltage, you've got 2 trip meters, you've got trip average computer, you've got the time display, fuel and gear indicator. Another feature that I like is the new USB charger that's mounted below the instrument cluster. It's a very clever design, but you will need a mobile phone mount on the handlebar to connect your phone to the charging socket. But the feature that stands out is the Honda Selectable Torque Control. The HSTC is a basic traction control system that detects the difference between front and rear wheel speeds, calculates the slip ratio, and adjusts engine torque via the fuel injection. This feature can be turned off using a switch on the left side of the meter. Let's talk about ergonomics now, and I think Honda has really come up with a comfortable riding position that a lot of riders will appreciate. This seat here is 800 mm off the ground, whereas the handlebar is pulled back towards you, which relaxes in a very comfortable and upright riding position. Moving on to the heart of the matter, Honda has built a brand new engine for the H'ness CB350. This 348.36cc air-cooled, fuel-injected single-cylinder engine develops 21 horsepower at 5,500 rpm and 30 Nm of torque at 3,000 rpm. The long-stroke engine is paired to a 5-speed gearbox with a slip-in-assist clutch, which is another first in the segment. Now, while the power figures are right up there with the competition, is the peak torque that stands out, and it is the best in the class. This should translate to effortless rideability thanks to the low and mid-range grunt. Honda also claims to have taken care of vibrations by employing a balancer shaft. But the defining aspect about the H'ness CB350 is going to be the way it sounds. To give you an idea of how closely Honda has benchmarked the competition, just listen to the exhaust note. So as you can hear clearly, the H'ness CB350 has a thumpy exhaust note that many customers in the segment will appreciate. Onto the chassis, and the Honda H'ness CB350 uses a newly developed half-duplex cradle frame made out of steel. The suspension components are pretty basic, with a telescopic fork up front and a twin hydraulic shock absorber setup at the rear. The focus, while designing the chassis, was on achieving a good balance between ride and handling, says Honda. The H'ness CB350 has a 310mm disc at the front and a 240mm disc at the rear, and dual-channel ABS is standard on both variants. There is a lot going for the Honda H'ness CB350, and the company has clearly come to the market, all guns blazing. The Honda H'ness CB350 DLX version is priced at 1.85 lakhs, whereas the DLX Pro version is priced at 1.9 lakhs. Both prices are ex-showroom Delhi. That seems to be good value, but the other question that needs to be addressed is the availability and servicing of the motorcycle. For now, the H'ness CB350 will be sold through Honda's premium big bike outlets, the Big Wing. While the intent is to offer a premium buying experience, there are limited Big Wing showrooms across India, which may impact availability to some extent. It is going to be a similar case with servicing as well, as the Honda H'ness CB350 can only be serviced at Big Wing service centers. That said, Honda is ramping up the Big Wing network in India over the next few months. Considering the competitive price point of the Honda H'ness CB350, should the Royal Enfield Classic 350, Benelli Imperiale 400 and the Java 42 be worried? Or will the upcoming Royal Enfield Meteor 350, which too is based on a brand new platform, spoil the party for Honda? Let us know in the comment section.